This is Eric Swindle, and this is my reflection from Module 9. Describe the role of assistive technologies in classroom. What past experience do I have? And out of the assistive technologies looked at this week, what did I find most interesting or applicable to my teaching area? My experience with assistive technology is like smart boards. A lot of my math classrooms in high school had smart boards, and basically what those are is like an interactive whiteboard that has ways that you can go through and like highlight certain text. It's like a projector, but it also has a lot of functions like highlighter functions. You can write on it, you can erase it, you can save documents that you've like shown your work on that you might need at a later time. And it just helps a lot of students get interactive with the lesson instead of just sitting at a desk doing it by themselves. They can walk up to the front of the class and get help by from the teacher. Um, uh, and out of the ones looked at this week that I found most interesting were tilt tables. That kind of goes hand in hand with like the next topic, the three applications. Tilt tables are definitely help with the positioning maybe of students in classrooms. If you give them a tilt table, they might not have to especially maybe in art rooms, they might not have to lean over and have to be able to write on a flat surface. They can be able to tilt the table towards them or move it down if they're shorter or taller. If move it up if they're taller. So of the six, I'm going to be looking at the communication, positioning, and mobility. Communication is the like hearing aids. As mentioned, one of the things they didn't mention that I didn't read were I went to school with a guy that had a tablet. He was mute, and he had a tablet that had all the words, all the actions that you could possibly think of. And he would hit it, and it would speak into a microphone or a speaker, and it would notify the teacher of what he needed to do, such as go to the bathroom, get some water, if he needs help, if he needs a new pencil, a new pen, whatever. If he was confused or needed to leave to go somewhere, all types of actions were on this thing, and that's definitely a key for communication for people who can't or might have trouble communicating. They can definitely be able to use a tablet or interactive apps like that to be able to talk to maybe a para if they have one, or teachers or other peers in the classroom. Positioning, I know that in the earlier section of this, I talked about a tilting table, kind of positioning to position students to where they can use as a group a tilt table if they need to, if there's more than one person that needs assistance with all that, they can have multiple of them. Another way of positioning that I look at positioning is how to move students around rooms to position them to better suit the needs of the other students, such as if you're having a group discussion or a group project and you have kids who are um, like all the same level, they're not going to really like coexist much. But if you have kids that like one is really good at math but not good at reading, and then you have one that's good at reading but not so good at math, they'll kind of like vibe off each other and kind of like help throughout the whole entire process of the group project that they might have. So that's kind of like an assistive kind of thing for positioning, whether like how you position students around the room. Another thing is mobility. Um, a huge thing for mobility I've seen in elementary schools are they'll give kids that have maybe ADHD or kind of a little bit more hyper, have trouble focusing if they're not moving. They'll give them exercise balls to sit on so that they can kind of like sit there and bounce silently without having to make a whole lot of noise, get up, walk around, be kind of like disrespectful to their students. They can just sit in the back of the room at their desk and just kind of bounce up and down. Another type is like stationary pedals that they'll have underneath the desks. And they can just sit there and pedal the whole class without making any noise or anything like that. It just kind of sit there and pedals. That can also fall under physical education because it is kind of getting them like kind of a workout. I guess they're pedaling. It's like pedaling a bike. Um, One more additional assistive technology that wasn't listed in the module that I found to be interesting was kind of closed captioning. So if you're in a class that you have to, if you're a teacher in a class and you have to view a movie or show a movie to your students, and you have someone that might be, hearing impaired, you can have captions for the movie so that instead of listening, they can read it. That to me was a really really big one because if you're going to do a project over a movie or a book, if you're in a reading class and you've read the book and they're going to compare it to a movie, if you have someone that's hearing impaired that can't listen to the movie, closed captioning will be huge, because then they can actually like see the differences between what they read on the book or in the book than what they read on the movie while it was going on. Closed captioning, you don't really have to find it. It's just kind of on all TVs mostly. It's on like a DVD setting or something like that. But that's definitely one that I found really, really interesting that wasn't in the article that we read.